Hello friends, it's Tonton from State 948. Welcome to a new video, a new guide. Today we're gonna talk about Chief Charms. We did a bit about Chief Gear last few days. Today the go, I guess. So today we're gonna talk about Chief Charms. So Chief Charm, they unlock around level 70, I forgot actually, 20-ish furnace. So most of you have them. If you don't, you will have them soon enough. It does not really matter when they are unlocked, but they unlock very quickly. And so we'll go through how to increase them, like how to improve them, the sources of where you can get some, and some thought and tips about what you could do with your charms. And there are a few options as usual. First of all, what are charms doing? So if you go on your portrait, if you go on the 6 piece of gear, so first you unlock Chief Gear, that's Chief Charm. So in events, when you have point for Chief Gear score, it's Gear Enhancements, and when you have point for Chief Charms, that's the charms, and they are not the same thing, and they don't give points in the same event. Why charms are very important? It's because they give you health and lethality, right? That's what they give you. So these are really, really super important. Because on infantry you want health, and on marksman and lancer you want lethality. That's the best. These are the best stats in the game right now compared to defense and attack. So your charms will be important. So like for Chief Gear, like I said, with Chief Gear, at some point you can unlock the exchange, right? And to exchange for Chief Gear, you need to be tier 2, 3 stars. For Chief Charms, you need to be 11 on one charm, and you need to be generation 7. So for us, we are still generation 6 for 3-4 weeks. So I don't have a charm, and I don't have a charm 11, so I cannot unlock the exchange. And I will maybe start with the exchange. Like the exchange is you can trade two guides for one design, or two design for one guide. So it's a lot. So basically you're losing 50% of what you trade. So when for Chief Gear it was worth it to exchange, some of your extra alloy and extra solution for designs plans. For Chief Charm, it's a lot more debatable. You could rush to 11, and I will do it in first SVS of Gen 7 for me, just to unlock the exchange. But then I'm not sure I will use it, because, and we'll talk a bit about later why, but for most of the time you basically need, if I look, can I look to Chief Charm, how do I upgrade? Yeah, if I click here, for most of the time you see, if you are Charm level 6, you need 400 design and you need 140 guides, and the game gives you a lot more guides. So basically you will find yourself similar to Chief Gear. You will have a lot more of some of the items than the other ones, and in that case you will get a lot more guides than designs, and the game will ask you for more designs. So you could be tempted to rush to Charm 11 and to exchange a lot of guides for design, but when you start to be Charms level 9, it's the same. And then if we go to Charms level 10 and 11, that's to upgrade to level 10, and then if you go to 11, then it starts to ask you for a little, it's still asking you for more guides actually. It starts to ask for more guides. Yeah, exactly, that's what I meant. It's asking for more guides. So it starts to ask you for more guides for the first few levels. Then it swaps, it asks you for a lot more designs, and then by a lot more, a lot more, and we'll see that in a minute, how much. And then at the end, for the last 2 levels, it starts to ask as much or a bit more. So you will eventually use them, but it's gonna take you years. As a free-to-play, if you never buy with your money some designs, it will take you years. So rushing to level 11 before generation 7 might be worth to exchange a few thousand of these to get a few thousand of these to get overall more charms. So that's kind of for the swap. I'll maybe make a quick update on this video when we have it next month. But Gen 7 and Charm 11. So Charm 11 is not enough, you need to wait for Gen 7. And Gen 7 unlocks charms to 12 to 16 as well. So right now the cap is level 2 is to level 11, and all their state they have up to 16, and there is a new currency, but that's, if you're at that stage, you don't really need me to make a guide video for charms. Basically, you are far beyond what we'll talk today. I hope so for you at least. So that's the exchange. You have, like for chief gear, you have a few options, right? Either you care to kind of level them up all a bit, because even if you use more infantry, often like if you fight in Foundry or in Canyon, you have 33, 33, 33, Frostfireman as well. The troop ratio, the game is deciding for you. But if you fight in Labyrinth, if you fight in Foundry, you are choosing the troop ratio. And most likely you will do something like 60, 10, 30, 50, 20, 30. So you will have a lot more infantry, a bit less lancers, and a bit more marksmen than lancers, right? So most of it will be infantry, 50 to 60% in most of the case, or 45. Lancers, usually you want 10 or 20%. And marksmen, you want between 30 to 45%, depending on the strategy. So the top is Lancer, the middle is infantry, and the bottom is marksmen for charms as well, and for chief gear as well. So they improve, charms improve the same thing as the gear, except it's, health and lethality instead for defense and attack. So like the other video, if you watched it, either you improve, what most people will do is improve a bit more infantry than marksmen and a bit less lancer. So that could mean for me, if you look at it, my charms are level 6, here they are level 5, and here they are level 4, right? So it's hard to keep, all of them that way, but like I have a bit more in infantry. Kind of my middle ground is on marksman, and a bit my lancers are lagging a bit behind. And that's a good way to set things up. Like some people would tell you need 2 levels more on your infantry than the rest, and you want equal on on lancers, and marksmen. That's an option as well. But that's kind of standard if you want to fight and be efficient in Foundry and stuff. When you fight solo, because these do not matter when you join a rally, because these are when you join a rally, you use the rally leader stats, right? Or the strongest player in the rally, and that's likely not you. 99% of us, we are rally joiners, and that's just the way it is. One other option is to say F it on infantry stats. I don't really rally lead, so I don't need a strong infantry. I don't really use lancer. I don't need very strong lancer, so I'll go nearly all in. I'll have, like, let's say these will be level 3 or 4, and these will be level 7 or 8. I'll go all in on, or a lot stronger on the marksman to do bear damages. It will still work a bit in Foundry and stuff. Your marksman will do a lot. So you might want to, with research to increase lethality of your marksman. You might want to have like maybe the first troop you improve if you go that way. When you get a new Fire Crystal level are marksman, like you might want to think as a marksman player basically, and that you will face people doing that, and it works actually well as well. It's rare, it's not as common. It's an option, right? Really focus, and you will do more damage on bear, because what does damage on bear the most is marksman lethality. So that could be your main 2 options. For me, I went for a balanced option, right? I did not focus all on marksman. I'm improving all of them, because basically I use the 3 troops. I use 50, 20, 30 when I fight, and my lancers are doing a bit of damage as well. I don't really care that much to push my damage on bear. It's kind of easy to reach some of the threshold or tiered reward on bear. So 1.2 billion for me, 2.4 billion, that kind of stuff. It's not really hard. So I don't need to really min-max that much on marksman, but that's an option that's really, like I mentioned it quickly on some of the yesterday during the live stream. Some people with their hero gear, they as well only do health on infantry, so they do gloves and belts, and for marksman and lancer, they only do head, like sniper goggles and the boots, right? They only do these, they will go even a lot less on these pieces. So for example, they will give them like between level 2 and 5 of essence stones, right? And they will level them up to 40 to 60 basically. So they will basically really focus on the main stat per troop that give you the most benefits. So same with lancers, they will go goggles and boots. they'll skip a lot. They'll keep it that way, maybe a bit lower, you know, maybe not level 100, maybe level 60 or something, maybe level 4 for essence stones, but you can have that mindset, right? And if you have that mindset, you might want to apply it to chief gear, chief charm, and hero gear, right? And if you align all of that, and you give a lot of lethality here, a lot of lethality here, as well on these two pieces, and then you get the charms and you get the gear for attack and defense, then you will be a very good damage dealer. For bear, I don't play that way, so I'm not really sure if it's as effective in foundry and stuff like that. But when I face people doing that, they seems to be doing well enough. So that's a totally good option. So that's kind of the three options for charms. Either you go all in, or you know most of your charms are on marksman, or you do a bit more infantry and you improve the rest after that, or you kind of just go the same level everywhere. That's as well a valid strategy, because basically we will talk about that now, but the increase per level, see, right now I got 6% from level 4 to 5. If I increase level 9 to 10, it's a 5% increase. And that cost me 840 mats, and that cost me 300 mats. So I can get 6% on lancers, or 5% so 6% on lancer, or 5% on infantry, and that's cost me nearly 3 times less to improve lancer. So you see, if you focus too much on only 1 or 2 troops and you don't improve the other one, you kind of waste a lot of percentages of stats. If these stats you are not using them, then it does not really matter, right? That's okay as well. For rally leader, something to consider is for defense, starting around Gen 4-5, you can start to use 60 infantry, 40 lancers in percentages, right? 60, 40, 0. So some rally leaders around Gen 3-4, they start to focus on infantry and lancers. They'll get their marksmen a bit behind. And that will make sense. You rarely see a rally leader not having, not leveling all troops. It's because often for attack you want 50, 20, 30, something like that. So you will have to count on marksmen for attack, and for defense you can do 60, 40. And then you might want to do it. So that's what will be one variation for rally leaders. If we look at the master sheet, so that was done a while back by Y-Bandit-Y, so it's an old spreadsheet, but it's still very still useful. You could see the charm levels, so that's available everywhere. You have it on the official Discord. You have it. I can give it to you if you want, but that's really available everywhere. So that's the cost of guides and the cost of designs. So you see that for the first level of charms, power we don't really care. So I'll try to remove things that are like that could cause issue for readability. Well, that we can keep. Okay. Guides. Okay, so we'll keep that, but let's remove that. Let's keep it simple today. So you have the level. So you increase, for 5 guides and 5 design, you have 9% of stats. So 9% health, 9% lethality. So the first level is amazing, of course. Then somehow you gain 3%. Then you gain 4%, right? Then you gain 3%. Then you go back to 6%. So doing that, it's kind of cheap because these start to be really expensive, and you get the best percentages, right? So if you go to level 5, you will have 25% health and lethality on, per charm. So you have 6 charms, so that's, 150%. And that's kind of the cheapest way. So here, that could be worse to go. That's why I'm going level 5 on my lancers as well, right? Because, you get a lot of stats. And there you always get 5%. So it's going from 25 to 30, 30 to 35. You can see here, right? But you start to need a lot more. So that's here it will be kind of balanced. Maybe you will miss a bit of guides at the beginning, and the thing that will stop you are actually the guides. Then as soon as you are reaching level 4 or 5, you will miss a lot of designs. And there you will miss a lot of designs. It's 120 guides for 300 designs, 140 guides for 400 designs. And then it's kind of start to slowly catch up on the guide side. So, 200, 300, you are nearly even. But that's 700 of both combined, right? So that's a lot for 5%. Then it's 840 for all combined, and then it's nearly 1,000. So that's basically how much guides and designs you need to increase one charm. But you have six charm per unit, so you have 18 charms, right? So it's kind of easy, right? That's how much you need, basically. You need 36,000 guides and nearly 49,000 designs. So that's kind of something to think of. So I would suggest you to rush to level 5 on all charms, and then maybe you start to go toward one charm, level 11. But that could be, depends on the event we will talk about now, but that could be a bit tough to achieve, basically. Because how do you get design, right? Castle Battle Foundry, Castle Battle Foundry. So let's look at these. We have 15 minutes before bear, so let's go quick. So let's look at the shop, because I think that's kind of outdated. So Arena, no charms, right? That's no the mystery shop, sorry. Mystery shop, no charms. Arena, no charms. Okay. VIP, no charms. Alliance Championships, no charms. It's Chief Gear mostly, right? We talked about it last time. Foundry, then you start to get charms. So what I do for Foundry, I get often the designs, because they're the one that you will like the most in the long term. So I will never buy the guides at the beginning. State of Power, same. See, I'll buy the designs and don't buy the guides. Why it? That's one way to get it. So that's for the shop, and you get a bit in Canyon as well. So the game is not really updated. So you get some in Canyon. So here what will I buy in Canyon? Yeah, you could buy some. You could buy designs. You could buy these one design plans for your Chief Gear or some design. That's okay. That's an okay buy to do. Labyrinth. So you don't have any. But the two big events, which I might not be able to show you, is the two big events where you get them as reward is Frostfire Mine. See? And we cannot really see, but by ranking in Frostfire Mine, you get a lot of design, and that's why it's really important to rank top 5, top 3, top 1, because you get a lot more. So that's a really important battle. So if you want to increase your charm, well, let's say, you have to be good at Frostfire Mine. And I have guides about one strategy, which is the first video of the channel, and I probably made one again about it. I actually forgot. But the first video of the channel was to make a Frostfire Mine guide for the Alliance. So that's really important. And the other one that I cannot show you yet, it's local Sunfire Castle Battle every month. And then every month as well is Sunfire Castle Battle. So, I mean, SVS. So both are Sunfire Castle Battle. And for the rewards for Sunfire Castle Battle, the rewards as well for, fighting are as well charms, guides, and designs. So that's kind of the two main events when you will get them, which is really important. To get them is Frostfire Mine, Sunfire Castle Battle, plus some from the shop. And that will allow you. I never spend money on charms. I don't think I ever spend money on charms. So that, after a year and a half, if you do well in both these events, you could have all your charms level 5 more or less. If I did not increase this one to level 9, and if I spend what I have in my bags, it should not be an issue to go to level 5. So, I've been saving for quite a while, so that's why I have a lot. So that's one way to go about it, is to make sure you're good at Castle Battle and good at Frostfire Mine. Some events, if you ever consider buying, right? Charms, you could... I think I took... Like all I have the left for the shelf, the first time I'm actually doing that on such an event, but I took some... sorry, not designs. I took some... Did I took designs instead of charms? I forgot what I've done. I might have done design instead of I might have made a mistake. I wanted some charms and I took some chief gear, I think, but that's okay. That's not really important. But if you calculate, like for 20 you get 28, so 20 is €1. Let's say you buy with a €12 pack, right? So you get 120. That's to compare not the cheapest pack, but some that are a bit more expensive. So you get for €1 you get 12. Yeah, you get 12 for €1, right? So if you need to get 20 for 28, I should have made the math before. It's not very complicated, but you know. So divided by 12, okay. So it's nearly, yeah, of course, it's nearly €2 to get 28, right? If you get here, we could do it that way because I checked earlier. Here, that the €6 pack, you get 22 for €2. And the other one, you get 28 for less than €2. So if you would buy charms sometimes, such event you need to calculate, and they are, you know, maybe 30% cheaper, more or less, from the top of my head, you know, with calculating very, very quickly, they are 30% cheaper. So if you consider buying charms, you know, if you're a little spender or a big spender, it could worth to overall spending in Whiteout Survival is a lot cheaper. I mean, if you can say spending is cheaper on event than buying regular packs, if you are smart about it. So often you will get better deals. You know, if you go there, it could be tempting because you have just what you need, plus some VIP points, plus some resources. You don't have anything extra. But you don't get gems, for example, which is VIP points and stuff like that. So these, you know, you don't know the percentage of these things, but you get a bit more in a seasonal event. So, you know, you could decide to spend €100 to speed up your charms. Then it's probably better to buy for 5 days. Where is it? The €20 pack towards your charms. And if you did not buy the rest, if you did not buy the rest, you buy all the other one instead of the €20 pack, you will get a lot more for your money. We talk about that in the guide event. But that could be one way, right? You spend a tiny bit on an event where charms are cheap, and then you stay ahead of everyone, taking an edge because you are like a bit above, you know, everyone else with your charm. Particularly being good at Frostfire Mine and Local Sunfire. That's really what it comes down to for charms. Again, I'll still suggest to go to a level 11 charms. I will do it. I'm concerned that if you consider transferring at some point, like my cost, and I'm not sure I can show you anymore, but my cost for transfer ticket went high so much. It cost me 18 tickets if I wanted to transfer last transfer, and I think last time it was a lot less. I should have kept track of that because I'm not sure, but I'm afraid that it's because of a level 9 charm. So that could be something to consider because I don't know for sure, because I don't see what else did I increase a lot. I mean, I'm Fire Crystal 8 maxed out nearly on buildings and stuff, but I did not change much. You know, I just got a bit more research, a bit more troops, a bit more stuff, and my ticket to transfer went up a lot. So if someone want to transfer, going to a level 11 charm might be a mistake, and I just want you to take that into account just in case. And probably red gear is probably as well, so you might not want to go to red gear. You know, you might want to max out all the stuff. If you consider moving, that's, you know, that could be thing that stops you as well and to consider. But I'm not 100% sure, but I wanted to mention it because it, you know, when I saw the amount of ticket the game asked me, I was like, that's unusual. Because usually what happens is if you don't really raise in power, because for me, I've been keeping stuff in my bag for a month, right? I burn everything 2 SVS ago, so my bags start to be full of, you know, essence stones, kind of a bit of mithril, a bit of chief gear, chief charm. So I start to be accumulating a month and a half of items. So that my ticket cost went up a lot, and I did not pay attention. Could just have been because I improved that charm to level 9. So yeah, something to, I don't know, to keep in mind, consider just in case you consider transferring yourself and you don't want the cost of ticket to be too high. Just be mindful not to reach like, you know, red gear and stuff. Maybe hold on a bit before you find the right place for you if you consider moving. But that's really it, guys, for today. Thank you very much for watching. See you tomorrow. I might do a live stream because we have Crazy Joe and we have Frostfire Mine. So I might do an afternoon stream where I'll do the both back to back. So it will be, it's not really afternoon anymore because we are summertime. So it will be, but it will be, I mean, 5 p.m. 20 UTC. Anyway, we do 5:20. You know, we do bear at 5:30, so that will be 5:20 tomorrow for Crazy Joe because we have 6 UTC, 6 p.m. UTC. We will do a Frostfire Mine, so I might do a live again. So feel free to join and ask questions and hang out. So again, thank you very much for watching. See you tomorrow, guys. Bye bye.